I hadn't been doing a whole lot of videos in the last month. I've been studying, praying, working on myself. Um, really studying about the power of the spirit of HAWAH is in all of us. I mean, built within all of us. I mean, belief of whatever you believe is absolutely true to you. You can believe in anything, even yourself, and that can give you the power, if you believe it positively, to do anything. I mean, all praises to HAWAH, in my opinion, because my belief, HAWAH gives me all power. They are my breath. They've given me life. They give me everything. I But what I've been studying here lately is interesting to that effect, because it's placebo nocebo kind of things. And most everybody knows what placebo is you give somebody something that's you say is medicine but isn't, and it heals them. Nocebo is when you tell somebody you gave them a virus and you didn't, and they got sick, kind of thing. They did they did the biggest nocebo in the world a couple of years ago in 2020, and really killed a lot of people. And a lot of it was just the thought process that it would kill you. Not that I'm not saying there wasn't a virus going on, but regardless, it's kind of like you tell somebody, and they've done studies on this. Give somebody saline, tell them it's morphine, and it will get rid of their pain. Give somebody morphine and tell them it's saline, and they will have no pain relief. This has been done with MRIs. It's just a thought process that they believe this is what it is. They trust their doctor, so it fixes them, even if their doctor's lying to them, or it doesn't fix them, even if their doctor's lying to them. And the same thing is kind of like if you tell a man that knows nothing of cancer that he has cancer, it doesn't affect him in the least. He goes on living his life, and even if it's true, he overcomes it. Anybody I've known that had cancer, given 4 to 6 months to live, they absolutely believed I'm gonna beat this no matter what. They're still alive now, 20 some odd years later. Cancer free. And some people will contradict me on this. So, well, I've known people that had absolute faith and they didn't live through everything. But was it absolute? Or did they let people discourage them, drag them down? Because people will break you. That's why I don't like being around people, because they will break you. They will drag you down. And we do not have that incentive as people to cut the rope when people are dragging us down. I do not know why. But it's the only person that can destroy you is you. I mean, I know that more than anybody. Well, I mean, not more than anybody, but I know from my personal things that the biggest danger to me is me. And HAWAH gives me protection from everybody but myself. So I have to restrain myself from doing stupid things. HAWAH is within us to give us that strength. To give us that strength. Like the Saiyans, if you're ever into Dragon Ball Z. The Saiyans were these people that they gained strength from every win of a battle, but doubled their strength from every lose of a battle. And every battle that you win, HAWAH gives you strength. Every test they put you through, they give you strength. But when you lose a battle, they give you more strength if you learn from it. You learn to lean on them more, and call on them more, and pray to them more. And they will give you that strength to get through all things. I believe that we get past this brainwashing that they put into our minds, that gravity holds you down and that you cannot do all these things, you cannot use your entire mind at once. That we learn that vibration is the movement of everything, controls everything, and absolutely get an organic diet, we will be able to do things that we can't even fathom. Be able to move objects, cut objects better than we ever have. Be able to run vehicles like Tesla cars without using the means they're using today. Right off the air, not the air, but the power in the air and the surroundings of us. Nikola Tesla, which is where Elon Musk stole the designs for Tesla cars, knew that power was everywhere, all over. I'm almost 90% sure the man knew how to fly, or at least knew it was possible, without planes and machinery and stuff like that. The direct quote from the man was, "I'm not interested in making airplanes or flying machines, but simply awakening man to his inner wings." Nikola Tesla knew that everything was light and vibration, and we know now that the basics of atoms are micro light particles, and that every vibration of everything affects something to a certain degree. If you know the harmonic frequency of something, you can break it apart, or you tear the fabric of it to pieces. If we knew the frequency of granite, we could cut through it like a hot knife through butter, with a tuning fork and a rod of silver. I guarantee you. You know harmonic frequency to lift things. You can lift some of the most things that they can't lift, the biggest cranes today, with vibration and the right frequencies and the right tunes. You can break down walls. And I mean, how do you think they actually built the pyramids and stuff? They knew of these things. And HAWAH is within all of us. We're just trying to get back to where we need to be. I hear these people all the time, a lot of these Christians that say that Jesus is not the son of the God of the Old Testament. And I absolutely agree. That my father and mother and father have no son of the name of Jesus. Christos was the god of the Greeks. Was one of the gods of the Greeks, I should say. There's many gods of the Greeks. But he was one of the sun gods of the Greeks. Christo, when you read the Greek versions, created everything. Christo is Baal. Christo is what they were worshipping before Christianity, and it's what they put back in place with Christianity. They just attached some documents to the ancient belief and called it the Son of God. And people really reach a lot of times when they're trying to get Jesus out of the Old Testament. Because when you really put in a lot of things that really don't even make sense. Like in Matthew, when it says that he'll be born, his name will be Emmanuel. Well, his name's not Emmanuel in any text. Yahshua HaMashiach in one, Jesus Christo in another, Jesus Christ in another. So where the heck did they get Emmanuel? Emmanuel is actually talking about another person completely. It did come out of the book of Isaiah. Isaiah also said in chapter 53 that there would be a man that was received the stripes for the iniquity of Israel. And I don't remember exactly what all at the moment, and people say, I say that is Jesus. But that was Ezekiel that paid for Israel's sins. And I changed what I said earlier when I said our mother and father had no son, because they do have sons and daughters. And so many senses. The sons of HAWAH are mentioned in the Old Testament in several verses, starting out with Genesis, talking about the fallen that came down and mixed with mankind, the daughters of man. And then also in Job, when he called them all together to see his perfect servant Job. But it also mentions David in Psalms 89. Says that David is my firstborn. In Psalms 89:20, it says, I have found my servant David, and I have anointed him with my holy oils. Christ, or Hamashiach, means anointed one. But he said, I found my servant David, and anointed him with my holy oils. And in verse 27, he says, and he will be my firstborn son. And several scriptures, and I might have to prepare a little bit, but it says that David will be raised up to be the shepherd, the prince, the king of all the people forever. Hosea 3:5, Ezekiel 35:20-23, I think. Ezekiel 37, somewhere around 20 to 25, I believe. And there's a few others. I'm just off the top of my head. I'm kind of skipping here. And so David is the king, the prince. It also says that as far as sons, it says that anybody that follows his commandments and loves him, anybody that loves him, loves them, follows their commandments. And anybody that follows the commandments are their sons and daughters. So all of us have that ability to be their sons and daughters by proving we love them. And just a last thought before I go. If they're right, and it all happened over there, then the New Testament has a possibility, a slight possibility. It could be true. But Genesis says that there's corn in Egypt. Corn is indigenous to America. I mean, it first came from Americas before anybody else ever found it. Corn was over here. And before they ever found Americas, it was nowhere else. So Genesis says it happened over here. If it happened over here, the New Testament couldn't happen because it was written in Greek by people that did not speak Greek. See, if it happened over there, like the way they say it happened, those people would have been speaking Greek, according to them, by that point. Speaking and reading Greek, even though they were Hebrew people, supposedly. Interesting, what we call Israel today was not established until 1948, after the Second World War. But if it happened over here, these people over here didn't speak Greek, which means the New Testament would have been absolutely falsified. They just added a religion onto a original religion. Think about it. Always study, pray, HAWAH, and may you be blessed.